what's up everybody? It's Cooper here, and I've got a really awesome eBay unboxing to do for you guys today. And there's someone on eBay. I'm not exactly sure of their username now, but it's a former collector who is selling off his collection on eBay, and I think he's actually sold most of it already. But I was fortunate enough to pick up some boxed games from him at a really good price, and he threw in some extras and everything, and very cool of him. And there's kind of a story with it, but basically he had a bunch of games listed in like individual auctions, like 1 game per auction. Then he had some that were 2 games per auction, and he had buy it now prices on them, but he also had the make an offer button. So I made an offer on 1 game, and he accepted it, and so I started making offers on a few other games, and he was accepting all the offers I was making. And I messaged him and asked him if he'd combine shipping, and after talking back and forth, he agreed that he would ship them in a flat rate box and only charge me $13 for shipping total. And the shipping price before he revised it to be $13 was like $45 shipping or something. So he really helped me out, and I got a great deal on some awesome games for the collection. So first up, like I said, he threw in some extras. First up, there's this little Nintendo ad for some Super Nintendo and Game Boy stuff. Next, he threw in 2 of these Donkey Kong 64. What these are is basically there's like a Donkey Kong 64, like a sticky notepad. They're not sticky, but like a little paper pad with a bunch of them, so he threw in 2 of those. Then there's a couple of these little Donkey Kong 64 stickers, which is very cool, and these, along with these, lead me to believe that he has, or he had, like a, what do you call them, like a Donkey Kong 64 promo barrel. And there was one on eBay a while ago. It had like a bunch of t-shirts in it, and like some Donkey Kong 64 banana pens, and a bunch of stuff like that, which is very cool. Those are extras. He also threw in this little, what is it? It's a Mario Kart 64 toy from, it says 1997. It doesn't say like McDonald's or anything, but it's basically a little, there's like a little track in there with a ball, and you just like move it around and get the ball around the track, but that's pretty cool. And he also threw in this little Luigi figure, which is very cool, especially since Luigi's my favorite character. But he's made out of like a rubber, you can bend him, and it says copyright 2004 Nintendo, but very cool. He's about, I mean, compared to a Game Boy Advance SP, he's about the same height as that, so gives you an idea. So those are all the extras he threw in. So now we're getting into the boxes here, and I was going to actually put this box of stuff into my pickup video 102. I actually just filmed that video right before this, and I meant to put this in there, and when I was finished I realized I left this box of stuff out on accident. So that's why I'm doing this video now, and this is actually going to be uploaded before that video because I did get this stuff first. But yeah, the 102 video is like half an hour long, and adding this box of stuff in there would have made it a lot longer, so I thought I'd just make it its own video. So we have 8 boxed N64 games, 1 Game Boy game, 1 Super Nintendo game, and 4 NES games. So very awesome stuff here. I'll start with the Super Nintendo since there's only 1, and this box is probably the most beat up out of all of them, but that is T2, the arcade game, Terminator 2, made by LJN, so obviously it's going to be terrible, but it's a game I didn't have, and like I said, it's a little crushed and everything, but I mean, it's complete, so not bad. I don't know what I paid individually for the games, but At the end of the video, I'll tell you how much I paid for all of them. So, T2 for the Super Nintendo. I guess I'll show you the one Game Boy game, even though it is really cool. And this is like a, I guess you'd call it like a special edition of a Game Boy game, and that's F1 Race. And this comes with the 4-player adapter. And this box is pretty big. This is really big for a Game Boy game. Here's the Super Nintendo box. Here's the Game Boy box. So as you can see, it's like the same size, which is pretty crazy. I've never seen another Game Boy game in a box like this, so that's very cool. And this box is in really good shape, and it does have the 4-player adapter and everything else in there. Next, I'll move on to the NES games. So I'll start with this one, and that's if you guys watch the Angry Video Game Nerd, you'll know that this game's pretty horrible, but that is Deadly Towers. And it's a game I didn't have. The box is a little crushed. It's really beat up down here, but it's holding its shape pretty well. The cover is pretty nice. So that one's complete. Next up, another game. This is the first one that I actually made an offer on. The front looks okay, but now that I'm looking at it, it has some weird damage to it that is not normal. But that is Tiny Toon Adventures. This is complete, and it's got like some weird indents on it. They're not like it's got some scratches and everything, and they're like really weird. It's like, I don't know. It's like they took 3 marbles and pushed it down, which is really weird, but another complete game I didn't have. Next is, I think it's pronounced Archon, and made by Activision. And this box is in really nice shape, and this is also complete. Another game I didn't have. And the last NES game, which is also complete, and it's in pretty good shape, is Captain Planet and the Planeteers. So, pretty cool. Another game I didn't have. And Archon and Captain Planet aren't, I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're not cheap games either. They're about $15 to $20 games in the box. The other ones are cheaper. Next up is all the N64 games I got from him. And like I said, some of them came in bundles. So one of these is a double, but I'm not sure if my copy's in better condition or not. So, I'll keep whichever copy's better. But first up, there's 2 sports games that, well, he had a lot of sports games. There were let me rephrase that. He had an auction of 4 N64 sports games. When I said a lot, I meant a bundle. I already had 2 of them, and I needed the other 2, so I was able to get these thrown in for $1 each, which is very cool. And they are Madden 2000, complete, and NFL Blitz, complete. And they're both in pretty decent shape. For sports games. A lot of the sports games boxes can be in horrible shape, but these are actually pretty good, so very awesome. The one double that I picked up is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and this one, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this one's missing the manual, but the box is in pretty good shape. It does have like a crunch right here, but other than that, it's in really nice shape, but that is a double. I picked up another complete in box PAL N64 game, and the only I have a few PAL games that you guys saw in the 100th pickup video, but I'm not really actively seeking them out. I'm not going to be importing games from Europe or anything until I finish all the North American games, and still I'm probably only going to be importing the PAL exclusives. Eventually, I think it'd be cool to have all the PAL games and all the N64 games, even the doubles, like have a PAL Mario 64 and a NTSC and Mario 64. But this one was really cheap. I couldn't pass it up. This one was $2, and that is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. And this is in really good shape, and it is complete. So I thought that was a cool addition to my small boxed PAL N64 collection. 4 games left here. Next up is South Park Chef's Love Shack. The only, where is it? I do have one South Park game, and that's just regular, the first one, just South Park. This one is complete. The box is a little beat up, but it's really not that bad. It's one of the better ones. Then we have, let me close this back up. Then we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. This box is kind of beat up on the edges, like this is almost completely ripped off. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape, and it is complete, and it's another game I didn't have. Two left here. The first one is Rayman 2, The Great Escape. And this box is pretty cool. The Rayman here and the logo are raised off the box a little bit, and it's really shiny, which is pretty cool. And this box is actually in really good shape. I'm surprised, I didn't know it was that good, but it is missing a manual. So if anybody has this manual, please let me know. I know I say that a lot, but this is one of those games that I really would like to get the manual for. There's a bunch of games, I need tons of manuals. I probably need at least 100 manuals for N64 and NES games. But, you know, I'd rather get a Rayman 2 manual than, like, Madden 94 or something, you know what I mean? So, please let me know if you have the manual for that. And the last game from this package, and for this video, is a game that I used to have as a kid when I had my N64, and so I'm really happy to get this one back. It's one that I've been looking for, but I haven't been able to find one at a decent price. But I finally found this one. I'm very happy I did. And a little backstory about when I was a kid before I show it to you. We used to have a store in Vancouver called Game Crazy. They had them all around the Portland area. I don't know if they were anywhere else, but they're at least around there. And it was basically like GameStop, except it was kind of like either before GameStop, or it was like when GameStop was first starting out, like Game Crazy was thriving. And we used to go and trade in games all the time and, you know, buy games from there. That's where we bought all our stuff. And I remember we bought this game from Game Crazy, and then we went, so we had to go somewhere, and my mom went in, and my dad and I were waiting in the car, and I remember just staring at this game, and like when you're a kid, if you were into video games and you were a kid, like I know like a lot of kids get that feeling where like a new video game is like the coolest thing in the world, and you know it's their whole life, and like when you get a game, you just sit there in the car staring at it until you get home, and then immediately when you get there you put it in and play for hours, and that's how I was as a kid. And so this game brings back that pretty cool memory of that. I just remember sitting in the car with my dad just waiting to play this game, and I'm really happy to get that back. And it's Mace the Dark Age, and it's a one-on-one fighting game. I would say probably similar to Mortal Kombat. It's got like finishing moves and everything. I remember from a kid, one of the finishing moves of one of the female characters was to turn the opponent into a chicken, which I always thought was kind of funny. But yeah, this is a mature rated game, which is, I mean, it's not very common for N64 games, but this game is pretty cool if you like fighting games, at least from what I remember. I haven't played it since, but I'm definitely going to pop it in and give it some playtime, because it's a great memory from when I was a kid. So, for all that stuff from him, I paid, I want to say $55. Not, actually, I have the slip right here. They sent one of these with it. So I paid $55 total plus $14 shipping, so $69 total. I think it's a great deal. The Terminator 2 was $4. The F1 for the Game Boy was $5. N64 Mace the Dark Age was $8. The PAL N64 game was $2. Rainbow Six and South Park I got in a bundle for $6, so they were $3 each. Rayman 2 and Star Wars were in a bundle, so those were $3 each. Captain Planet was $9. Archon was $7. Deadly Towers and Tiny Toon were $4 each. So, yeah. Oh, I guess I can tell you his username too. It's NMA800. So once again, N like Nancy, M as in Mark, A as in Aaron, and then 800-800. So definitely check out his stuff. He's definitely willing to help collectors out and accept your best offers. And I mean, like, some of the stuff that he had, like Captain Planet was like listed at $15 and he accepted $9, which is pretty cool. So I mean, don't be afraid to offer him, you know, whatever you want to pay. And you know, he never declined an offer either. He would counteroffer sometimes, but he would never decline, which is very awesome. He's definitely willing to deal. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned within the next few days here for Video Game Finds 102. It's a very big one, so hopefully you guys can enjoy that. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.